Midland Exteriors is proud to be a presenting sponsor of Colbert on Golf. Just as Jim Colbert pursued excellence on the course, Midland Exteriors is committed to excellent products for your home and exceptional customer service for you. Midland Exteriors knows Kansas weather can be tough on your home, so we offer only fiberglass windows and seamless steel or fiber cement siding. It's the good stuff, and so is our service. Online at MidlandExteriors.com. Midland Exteriors, we've thought of everything.
Colbert Hills is one of the most unique golf experiences in the entire Midwest, and the hills are calling your name. Colbert Hills, you're going to experience huge elevation changes, tour-quality greens, and an award-winning design by Jim Colbert. Tee times, specials, and stay-and-play packages are available online at ColbertHills.com. Book a foursome or bring a huge group, and the staff at Colbert Hills will roll out its legendary hospitality. Who knows, you might even run into Jim at the tee box or after your round at Colbert's, which is so much more than just the 19th hole. Visit ColbertHills.com today. We're back on Colbert on Golf, presented by Midland Exteriors. So glad you joined us again this week on this fine radio station. Each and every week this summer, we'll be talking with our good friend Jim Colbert, who is in Las Vegas this week at a charity event to raise money for cancer research with a bunch of basketball coaches and folks who are spending a whole bunch of money for the right to play with Jim, hang out in casinos, and get great live entertainment from the likes of Toby Keith and Larry the Cable Guy. It's a huge fundraiser, and Jim and so many folks around the Manhattan and Kansas State community have pitched in for many years with Lon Kruger, whose name is on this event each and every year. So Jim, not with us live this week, but in a moment, we will hear some of the comments that Jim had with his good friend Lanny Watkins, who's one of the all-time great guys in golf, just a dear, dear man and a wonderful competitor and a tremendous analyst. At this point, one of the greatest analysts in golf. Announced this week, how about this one? Jack Nicklaus is getting a room at the USGA Museum in Far Hills, New Jersey. When I first saw the headline that Jack Nicklaus is getting a room at the USGA Museum, I thought, well, do they have a hotel there? Does that mean he's staying? I didn't know exactly what that was. There will be an entire room and display and exhibit in honor of Jack Nicklaus at the USGA Museum. Bobby Jones, Ben Hogan, and Arnold Palmer already have rooms and displays at the museum, but they'll be building one for Jack Nicklaus as well. So congratulations to Golden Bear, the greatest golfer of all time in most circles, is now getting his own display at the USGA Museum in New Jersey. All right, I mentioned that Lanny Watkins is a great player in his own right. He's not Jim's age. He's younger than Jim, but he's known the PGA champion for a long, long time.
Kevin, I got to tell you how I knew I was going to like Lanny. I'm, older than Lanny, but he came out on the circuit his first year, and, he won a couple $100,000. And, of course, a lot of us think he blew another $100,000 backhanded putts that he missed. But we're in Hawaii the last term of the year, and we're all staying at either the Beachcomber or the Hilton, and there's, 14 or 15 of us. I know Marcia was there, a bunch of wives, and Lanny's just wrapping up his first year on the circuit, and he's walking from one hotel on the street to the other one and headed out to dinner. It's about 5:30 in the afternoon, and we're all drinking whatever they have over there. And Lanny comes by, and Phil Rogers is hollering at Lanny, "Hey, Lanny, come on over here and have a drink." So Lanny comes over. He's all about 20 years old, 21. And he comes over and says, "Guys, I'd love to have a drink with you guys. But I've got a dinner engagement. I really have to go." And he whips out $200, throws it on the table, and says, "But I'd love to buy you all a drink." I thought that was pretty classic.
Do you remember that, Lanny?
I do remember that. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I knew that was the safe move because I was going to catch so much crap from Colbert and Rogers and those guys. If I walked away, they'd had enough. Cocktails, shall we say, that they were going to be a little vocal.
I read in researching you a little bit, Lanny, that back in 1970, and I have you at age 20 when this happened, 1970 was your first Masters. It was Tom Watson's first Masters, and you guys roomed together in the Crow's Nest, which is the little bunking room above the clubhouse at Augusta National. Is that story true, and what do you remember from them?
I do vividly. It was 1970. Watson and I were up there, and the thing that stuck out the most that week was that Watson was screaming in his sleep all night long, blood-curdling yells and stuff. And I looked at him and I said, "Watson, I don't know what you boys are doing at Stanford, but we haven't discovered that stuff at Wake Forest yet." So, Tom was a little bit more out there. That was back in the hippie days, and it was different. So, but that was an interesting Masters. I give you a cute little story. I played my very first round in the Masters that year with Jackie Burke. And, getting to play with Jackie Burke was, he's one of my heroes, so that was pretty cool. Well, the second round of the Masters that year, I got paired with Gene Sarazen. So I played in the Masters with Gene Sarazen, if you can believe it.
Wow. Amazing stuff there from Lanny Watkins with Jim Colbert talking about the 1970 Masters and the Masters beyond then. Now, Gene Sarazen, of course, one of the game's all-time greats, won the career Grand Slam, and he hit the famous double eagle at number 15 at Augusta National that helped him win the 1935 Masters tournament. That's the bridge that every player walks across to get to the 15th green right there. It has been named the Sarazen Bridge in his honor. Lanny Watkins, one of the true good guys. He's a tremendous golf analyst as well, out on the senior tour, and a really, really good dude. I can't imagine Lanny Watkins and Tom Watson at the 1970 Masters sleeping in that crow's nest. I guess maybe at some point we'll have to get Tom Watson on and ask him about his night tremors or whatever the heck was going on. But Lanny Watkins remembers very vividly that Tom Watson had a little difficulty sleeping at his first Masters. Of course, Tom went on to become a great Masters champion and multiple-time major winner. Lanny Watkins, such a great contributor to the game. Good story there. I guess you got to pay your way out sometimes. When your buddies are out doing something, you have to go do something else. You had to pay the tab for the guys to not have a drink with Colbert and Rogers and those guys out in Hawaii. Good stuff there from Lanny Watkins, who is just a really, really nice man. All right, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Colbert on Golf. It's always great to have you with us, and hope you're having a great golfing season in and around the Midwest, wherever you live. The golf course is in great shape. We've certainly had a lot of good spring rains. We understand that greens pretty much all over the state of Kansas and around the Midwest are just doing outstanding at this point. Don't forget to improve your game this year if you can. Your PGA professional will love to help you out at your local golf course. They can help you with club fitting. We talked with Jim several times. Last week we talked a little bit about this, about getting the right ball to play. Very important if you want to get better with your game. Find the right ball to hit. Your PGA Pro can help with that at any of the golf courses that you play at anywhere here in the Midwest. And practice your game. Get to the range. Don't just hit drivers, man. Work on that short game. If you watch the good players, the great players like Jim Colbert, some of the great pros, that's where they make their money, man, around the greens. Chipping and putting, getting up and down for par and making all those putts. Trust me, I've played enough with Jim to know that when the money is on the line, his old putter works just like it always did, because that part of his game is just never going to fade. The distance may go away a little bit, but if you get a good short game, it will stay with you for life, and you're going to love the game of golf. We always appreciate you listening to Colbert on Golf. Another good week, and we'll do it again next week right here on this station. Thank you so much for listening. I'm Kevin Keatsman. Have a great week, and keep them in the fairway.